Okay, to deal with inequalities here, it's actually quite straightforward. I got three examples right here, and one is where this is, it'll say like x is less than 4, and this symbol means less than. So a lot of students remember it by the fact that the little guy will always eat the bigger one. I don't know how you want to memorize it, but basically this says x is less than 4, which means that x can be 3.9999999. It can be also anything below that, and it approaches 4 but never hits it. This one means that y is greater than or equal to 2. And that's what this little symbol means down here. It means equal. So in other words, this can be 2, but it has to be 2 or greater. So it could be 2, but it's also greater. If we want to make this less than or equal to 4, the top one there, we would write less than or equal to. And this bottom one here just says that x, now this is as two boundaries, we call it. X has to be, well, this says it's greater than -5, not equal, but greater than -5, and less than or equal to 100. So in other words, it could be 100. It can't be -5, but it can be anything between -5, anything bigger than -5, and up to and including 100. So that's what these symbols mean. Let me give you examples of how to deal with inequalities. We can do something as simple as this and just say, if x plus 5 is less than 3, if I say solve for x for the inequality, well, just like you do with equality, you move things around. How do you get rid of this 5 here? Well, what you would do is you would subtract 5 from both sides. So we'll do exactly that. We'll say that x then is less than, and I'm going to write here 3, and I would, of course, take -5. Of course, I can simplify this more and just say x is less than -2. It doesn't mean it's equal to it, but it's less than -2. You can look at the next example here, which is a little more complicated, but it says 2x plus 5 is greater than 1. How do you solve for this? Well, again, we're going to remove the 5 by subtracting it. So I'm going to get 2x, 2x is greater than, well, 1 minus 5 will give me -4. And the last step here is to get rid of the 2 in front of the x, and to do that we would divide. And so I'm going to say that x then is greater than, well, -4 divided by 2 is -2. And that's my final answer here, is x is greater than -2. And one last one here to take a look at, maybe looks something like this. It says 3x minus 1 is less than or equal to 0. So now I'm moving this around. I'm going to get that 3x, adding 1 to both sides, is less than or equal to 1. And that means x is less than or equal to 1/3. And that would be my final answer. So you get a variety of things here in terms of just dealing with inequalities. We'll deal with these primarily later on in the units, but it's a good refresher in the meantime.